So, as most of you all know, Expedition 33 would have taken these ponies' lunch money, baby mamas, and the last peanut butter jelly sandwich in the refrigerator. Yes, Expedition 33 took everything from these ponies.
Larry, what the hell are you doing?
Larry!
Larry, you can't just... Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did you...
Barry!
Yes, it didn't matter where you turn. Everywhere, Expedition 33 was winning.
The winner is...
Claire Obscure, Expedition 33.
Yo, shout out to Season, man. Shout out to Season, man.
Yo, I'm not the This nigga boy big boy.
These ponies can't catch a break. Now, Expedition 33 did so well that after a person saw the Game Awards for the first time and saw this game, that even then, Expedition 33 would have gotten a huge spike of not only persons buying the game, but persons downloading the game first time on Game Pass. Listen to this.
Claire Obscure Expedition 33 sales reportedly hit 6M following an immediate spike after historic Game Awards dominance. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 won Game of the Year at the Game Awards on December 11. According to Reese Elliott, the head of market analysis at Aliena Analytics, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 has now reached a total of 6 million sales thanks to an immediate spike following the Game Awards ceremony. Expedition 33 launched on April 24, 2025, for PS5, PC, and Xbox Game Pass, and its developer, Sandfall Interactive, announced that the game had acquired over 5 million sales in October. Sandfall hasn't provided an official sales update since, but Elliott reports that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 inches shifted another 200k plus copies since the Game Awards aired, meaning between December 11 and 15. According to Elliott, 76% of the surge in sales comes from Steam, whereas 21% stems from PS5 and only 3% from Xbox. While the Xbox percentage is low, Expedition 33 is available at no extra cost for Game Pass subscribers, and Elliott reports that roughly 52k Xbox users accessed E33 via Game Pass for the first time.
Yes, we cannot fail to mention that Expedition 33 devs would have praised Xbox, would have praised Microsoft for the push they gave, the game. We know that right now PlayStation fans are trying to have this as a win, that after the Game Awards, only 3% of persons would have bought the game via the Xbox. However, it's important that in that article we saw that not only is Expedition 33 playable day one on Game Pass, meaning millions of persons would have been playing it on Game Pass. We saw over 57,000 persons would have downloaded for the first time on Game Pass after the Game Awards. So, thanks to Xbox, according to the devs of Expedition 33, this game has gotten, a lot of eyes on it, showing the power of Game Pass and showing the power of the dead platform Xbox. Yes, Xbox is so dead that Xbox is helping out, make these games winners. Wow, wow, wow. So guys, do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because today I'm going to tackle the topic of exclusivity. You see, there has been a number of pundits out there, a number of detractors, a number of YouTubers who have been saying that Microsoft departure from exclusives, well, mainly exclusive, was a bad thing for Xbox. And that's funny because a lot of the PlayStation fans don't want to admit that Sony did the exact thing, going away from exclusives. We know that Sony is putting games onto PC. We know that they are putting some games onto the Nintendo Switch and even the Xbox. But, ponies don't want to admit that even that is different from the PlayStation 2 era or generation. That's a way departure from that generation. However, we have to talk about this exclusive discussion because a number of persons have brought it up. VG Fight School is one of them, and I think Doc Dark would have mentioned this exclusive departure. So we have to dissect it, because when I look at the landscape of gaming, I'm seeing that a lot of third-party devs that would have normally put their games exclusive or leave their games exclusive on the PlayStation is no longer doing it. Despite Xbox, dropping in hardware sales, despite persons claiming that Xbox is dead, time and time again, we are seeing games coming over to Xbox after a certain time period being on the PlayStation. Why is that? Why are these companies bringing their games over to Xbox despite the vocal minority saying that Xbox is dead? Let's see some games that should be exclusive on PlayStation because of what the ponies say, but we are seeing it being ported to Xbox. Let's look at it. So according to Mike Ybarra, according to a lot of ponies, PlayStation fans, Meth Head Guy, a lot of these guys keep saying that Xbox is dead, right? The platform is dead. It makes no sense porting games to the platform, bringing games to the platform. No one wants to buy games on it. Everything is just dead on Xbox, right? Now, if that is the case, then why? Could somebody tell me why Square Enix is doing this? Are you hearing that song, ponies? Are you hearing it? Xbox! Are you hearing it? Xbox! Ponies, do you hear those opera singers? They are singing a joyful song because Final Fantasy is coming to Xbox, yes? Final Fantasy and Square Enix would have broken the chains of PlayStation, and now it is coming to Xbox and the Nintendo Switch. Now, why didn't Square Enix decide to keep this game exclusive on the PlayStation? The PlayStation community really needs to ask themselves that question. Simply because I believe that, it just didn't sell enough. It didn't make sense given the production of the game, given how much the game costs to make, for it to stay exclusive on the PlayStation. All of these games are becoming more expensive, and quite frankly, the PlayStation community is simply not enough to appease the stakeholders, to appease those who have stocks. So they have to bring this game to every platform. That is why we are seeing Square Enix going the multi-plat route. We even see the producer of Final Fantasy cozying up to the Xbox executives. Now, if Xbox was so dead, ponies, you guys really need to answer this question. Why are they doing this? Why? Why, ponies? Why? Now, there's another game I could talk about. I could talk about the game that you're seeing right now on your screen. That is God Slayer. As you all know, Sony would have funded this game. This game is part of the China Hero project. And we know how Sony used to do it in the past, where they used to pay devs not to put games onto Xbox. But it just so happened that the devs who were funded by Sony said that this game will be coming to Xbox. Yes, Sony isn't stopping the devs from bringing this to Xbox. Why is that? Why is Sony continually not stopping these games that were exclusive for the PlayStation or was supposed to be exclusive? Why are they not stopping it from coming to Xbox? Why are they putting all these games on this dead platform? But I'm not going to go into that. What I want to go into is the game right now that is known as Stellar Blade. You see, Stellar Blade was a massive success on the PlayStation 5. So much so that it's been reported that Stellar Blade director receives a presidential commendation for development of Korea game industry. Yes, Stellar Blade was so successful on PC and PlayStation 5 that even the government officials are praising the devs there for, popularizing these games, these Korean games. Now, this is a game that is a shoo-in to remain exclusive to PlayStation, or when PlayStation would have money had to this game. Remember, this game was coming to the Xbox back in the day when it was Project Eve.
지구를 돌려받을 시간이야.
So the question is, if this game was money hunted by Sony already, why is it not remaining exclusive? Because as you all know, there are rumors saying that Stellar 1 is going multi-platform. As you guys can see there in the corner where the arrow is, the devs said that they are expanding the game's availability to other platforms. What does that mean? What does that mean, guys? We even have rumors saying that Celebrate 2 is going multi-platform. We would have seen there that the devs are hiring skilled developers for multiple platforms. That is what the devs would have put out there as something on LinkedIn. So, I mean, if these games were already exclusive and it did so well on PlayStation alone, why are we hearing about all these rumors? Why are we seeing evidence that this game is about to be brought to other platforms outside of PlayStation or PC? Why is that, ponies? You see, in order for your arguments to work, you guys need to answer these questions. These are burning questions, ponies, burning questions. Now, I don't want your arguments to blow up in your face again.
Canned goods. You're supposed to put your canned goods on the stove. And then when it's done, it's supposed to open up. You trying to read life? But you can't read life. You got that shit happen. Oh! Damn, did I get that on camera? Oh, shit. I got shot.
Wow, ponies, those arguments are blowing up in your faces. Now, I could talk about how Game Science had Black Myth Wukong on PlayStation for a year and they could have just leave it there. But why did they, want to port it to a dead platform like the Xbox? I could talk about how Kojima, as soon as he bought back Death Stranding, he rushed to put it on the Xbox. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this last game here, which is Phantom Blade Zero. You see, when this game was announced by S Game, a lot of the PlayStation fans was saying, Sony don't miss. This game is an exclusive. We would enjoy playing this game. Xbox can't get games like this. This was the talking points that they were using when this game was announced. And, gameplay was subsequently shown via different, state of plays and so forth. But it just so happened that not too long ago, a little disclaimer came up on screen when the latest trailer came up for this game. And look at this disclaimer. It reads, also available on PC, not available on other consoles until at least 12 months after release date. Virtual stands sold separately, designed and specifications are subject to change. Wow, wow, wow. So this is very interesting. You see, why do they have to put out this disclaimer? You see, this game would have been bought by Sony as a time exclusive for a year. That's how Sony normally does their time exclusives. They normally spend money for a year. They did it with Black Myth Wukong. They did it with so many other games. Only 1 year, and then it comes over to Xbox. But the question is, if Xbox is so dead, if Xbox is irrelevant, if Xbox is coming out of the gaming industry, then why are so many of these so-called exclusives that used to be on PlayStation, it's coming over to Xbox? Why it is that no one is answering these questions? You see, they can't answer it because it destroys their narrative. So let me hear what you think about, the exclusive discussion. Do you think that exclusives is still as pertinent as how it used to be maybe 10 years ago? Or do you think more devs, as we can see evidence of, is bringing their games everywhere? Let me know in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more video, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Woohoo! Ponies, things ain't looking too good for you, man.